What if I told you that something as ordinary as your morning routine or your loved ones could quietly be setting the stage for a life-threatening stroke? Not tomorrow, not next year, but maybe the very next time they wake up. I know that sounds dramatic, but stay with me for just a moment, because this isn't about fear. It's about being aware of something that most people completely overlook. Every single morning, millions of seniors across the world wake up and go through motions they've done for decades. A cup of coffee here, a rushed trip to the bathroom there, maybe skipping a glass of water, or forgetting to take a tiny pill that's supposed to be part of their routine. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? But what if I told you those normal habits might actually be quietly stacking the odds against their health? That a single skipped step in their morning could mean the difference between another peaceful day and a devastating emergency that no one saw coming? It sounds harsh, I know, but when you really think about it, how many times have you looked back and thought, if only I had paid more attention, if only I had known? This matters. Not just for your parents or your grandparents, but maybe even for you. Because aging doesn't come with a manual, but with the right knowledge, you can turn a risky habit into a protective one. You can replace fear with confidence, and you can feel secure knowing you're doing everything you can for the people you love. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through a specific morning habit that has been silently increasing stroke risk in older adults. And you won't believe how simple the fix can be. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what the danger is, how to spot it, and what steps you can take starting tomorrow morning to protect yourself or your loved one. But before we dive in, let me ask you, have you noticed any subtle changes in someone's morning routine lately? Maybe they seem a bit slower getting up. Maybe they're forgetting their meds more often. Or maybe they've been a little off, but you couldn't put your finger on it. If so, comment, "I'm watching closely" below. Because that simple awareness, it could change everything. And if you care about elderly health, if you want to stay informed, stay ahead, and stay connected to the people who matter most, then take a second to hit that subscribe button right here on Wisdom of Longevity. Because here we believe knowledge is love. And the more you know, the better care you can give. Let's begin. Number 1, morning dehydration. Imagine this. Your father wakes up groggy-eyed, shuffles into the kitchen, and goes straight for the coffee pot. He skips the water. Just like he's done for years. To him, it's routine, familiar, comforting. But here's the catch. What seems like a harmless start to the day may actually be a quiet threat building in the background. See, while we sleep, we lose fluids. Through breathing, through sweating, even if it's cool outside. And for seniors, that overnight fluid loss matters more than most realize. When the body becomes mildly dehydrated, the blood thickens slightly. And for aging arteries already stiffened by time, that thicker blood moves more slowly, increasing the chance of clotting. Now imagine starting the day with coffee or tea. Both contain caffeine, and caffeine doesn't hydrate. It dehydrates even more. So instead of rehydrating the body, many seniors begin their day by removing even more water, quietly setting the stage for a stroke when blood vessels are most vulnerable. The fix? Simple. Start the day with a full glass of water before the coffee, before the pills. Hydrating right after waking up helps thin the blood, reduce clot risk, and prepare the body for the day ahead. But hydration isn't the only morning danger that slips under the radar. Number 2, morning straining during bowel movements. Now picture this. Your grandmother disappears into the bathroom every morning. She's in there for a while, maybe reading the paper, maybe just taking her time. You think nothing of it. That's just her routine. But what if what's happening behind that door is more serious than it seems? Straining during a bowel movement, something many older adults do without even thinking, triggers a sudden spike in blood pressure. It's called the Valsalva maneuver, and it puts intense pressure on the heart and blood vessels, especially in the head. In a healthy young adult, this may not matter, but in someone over 65 with aging arteries or a history of high blood pressure, that moment of strain could dislodge plaque or rupture a weakened vessel. And just like that, a stroke can occur. Here's what many people don't realize. Constipation isn't just uncomfortable, It's a hidden cardiovascular risk when combined with fragile vessels and poor circulation. So what can you do? Make sure seniors are staying hydrated, eating a fiber-rich dinner, and moving a little in the morning. Warm liquids can also help wake up the bowels gently without strain. And speaking of blood pressure spikes, there's another quiet culprit we often overlook. Number 3, skipping morning medications. 7 o'clock. Think about Mr. Johnson. He's been taking his medications for years, but lately he's been feeling pretty good. So he figures, what's the harm in skipping a morning dose? He'll take it later, maybe after breakfast, or after his walk, or maybe not at all. That decision, it might seem small, but for seniors, especially those with high blood pressure, it could be dangerous. See, blood pressure naturally rises in the early hours of the morning. It's the body's way of preparing to wake up, get moving, and face the day. But for someone who's relying on medication to manage that pressure, skipping a dose means their system is suddenly exposed to that morning spike, unprotected. And unlike other symptoms, high blood pressure often has none. No headache, no dizziness, no warning. That I feel fine mindset, it's exactly what makes stroke risk more dangerous. So here's a simple tip. Invest in a clearly labeled pill organizer. Set a daily alarm. Put the medications where they're easily seen. On the breakfast table, next to the coffee pot, wherever they're impossible to miss. Because consistency isn't just a habit, it's protection. And speaking of mornings, let's talk about how simply getting out of bed can become a stroke risk if done too quickly. Number 4, jumping out of bed too quickly. 9 o'clock. Imagine this. An older loved one wakes up, realizes they're late, and rushes to the bathroom. But as they stand, the room spins. They stumble. They collapse. Maybe they get up fine. Maybe they don't. We chalk it up to dizziness. But in seniors, that dizzy spell has a name: orthostatic hypotension, and it happens when blood pressure drops suddenly after standing. It might only last a few seconds, but those seconds are critical. In that moment, the brain is getting less oxygen, and for someone with compromised vessels, poor circulation, or existing cardiovascular issues, that temporary drop could lead to fainting, falls, or worse, an interrupted flow of blood to the brain. Most people think that's just part of aging, but it's not just aging. It's your body's way of asking for more care. So what's the solution? The 30-second rule. Before rising, sit up in bed, place your feet on the ground, take a deep breath, wait just half a minute, then stand slowly, using support if needed. That small act of patience could mean the difference between a stable start and a dangerous one. Now let's talk about one final morning ritual, one that brings comfort to millions, but may be doing more harm than good. Number 5, morning smoking or heavy coffee intake. 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Picture your uncle. He steps outside at 7 a.m., cigarette in one hand, strong coffee in the other. It's been his morning routine for 40 years, rain or shine. He says it helps him get going, helps him wake up. But here's what's happening inside his body. Nicotine constricts the blood vessels. Caffeine increases heart rate. Both spike blood pressure within minutes. And after a long night of rest, when the heart has been operating slowly and steadily, this sudden jolt is like slamming on the gas in an old car with fragile brakes. Aging arteries can't handle that stress the way they used to. What felt fine at 40 might be deadly at 70. And the most dangerous part? He feels fine. Until one day he doesn't. Now, quitting cold turkey isn't always realistic, but small changes can help. Try replacing that first cup of coffee with decaf or herbal tea. Cut back gradually. And if smoking is part of the picture, seek support. Even reducing the morning cigarette can make a difference, because every step toward gentler mornings is a step toward longer, healthier years. It's hard. It really is. Watching someone you love wake up each morning, going through their well-worn routines, a cup of strong coffee, a skipped glass of water, maybe some quiet time in the bathroom, maybe even a cigarette out on the porch, all of it looks so normal, so harmless. But now you know what could be hidden behind those simple moments. And that knowledge, it can feel heavy, because it's not easy to speak up. It's not easy to ask your dad to change a habit he's had since he was 25, or to gently remind your mom to take her pills when she swears she'll remember later, Or to see your partner light up a cigarette and wonder silently if that puff is silently pushing them closer to danger. And the hardest part? Wondering if one day they won't wake up the same way, or at all. But here's what I want you to hear in your heart. With just a little awareness, these risky routines can become rituals of wellness. That morning coffee? It can follow a big glass of water. That straining in the bathroom? It can be softened with a fiber-rich dinner and a morning walk. That rush to stand? It can slow down with care, with love, with a reminder from you. You don't have to fix everything overnight. You don't need a medical degree or a stack of health books. Just take a few minutes tomorrow morning. Pause. Watch. Is your loved one drinking water? Are they moving slowly? Did they take their meds on time? These quiet moments of attention, those tiny acts of love, they're more powerful than any prescription. Because when you care enough to notice, to adjust, to act, you may very well be saving a life. And you might not hear a thank you every time. But one more morning together, one more laugh, one more story, one more hug. That's the kind of thank you that means everything. Let's take a moment and quickly recap what we've covered today. There are 5 common morning habits that many seniors do, sometimes for decades, without realizing they could increase stroke risk. 1. Starting the day dehydrated, skipping water and going straight for coffee or tea. 2. Straining during bowel movements, often due to constipation or a lack of hydration. And fiber. 3. Skipping or delaying morning medications, especially blood pressure meds when they're needed most. 4. Standing up too quickly, causing sudden blood pressure drops that can lead to dizziness or falls. 5. Smoking or drinking strong coffee first thing, which puts immediate stress on the heart and arteries. These aren't scary science problems. They're everyday things. They're fixable. And now you know what to watch for. So I'll ask you, gently, which of these have you seen? In a parent, a partner, maybe even in yourself? Drop a comment below. Share your story. You never know who might read your words and feel less alone, who might learn something that helps them take that next small step. And if this video opened your eyes, if you found value in these insights, please consider subscribing to Wisdom of Longevity. We create every episode with love, care, and real research to support you and the people you love on the journey of healthy aging. Because aging isn't about giving up control, it's about learning how to guide it, gently, wisely, together. Thank you so much for spending these moments with me today. Stay informed, stay compassionate. You're doing more good than you know. And I'll see you in the next video, right here on Wisdom of Longevity.